Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Library of Ruina. Where in the last episode we did a little bit of story, defeating Salvador and a couple of his companions, and then we defeated a couple of abnormalities. And in this episode, we're going to be continuing the story of the Salvador group, even though only one of them escaped, and it wasn't Salvador himself, so... Continuing straight on where we left off. Help yourself. You're gonna starve to death if you don't eat anything. Thanks for the meal, but I don't feel like eating anything yet. No wonder your office got wiped out. You should harden your heart still. Do you think it was your fault? Yes. Had I stopped them, had I been stronger and more mature, had I stayed there and not run away, then it's your fault. Huh? You were too daft and weak to help to keep the others safe. It's your fault that everyone died. Feel better now? Think what you want. When something happens, all you gotta do is make up reasons. All you gotta do is make up reasons that are convenient to you. No. It's not like you actually care about the cause. You just want to believe whatever conveniences you. Hey kids, don't bully that boy too hard now. Why does this guy almost look like... What is it, Bloodborne's? Almost looks like a Bloodborne's character. Not that I would really know. To be honest, I never played Bloodborne's. Like, as far as I know, Bloodborne's like a PlayStation 4 exclusive, which is a shame. But from what I've seen of like characters, it's got that kind of. It's from what I've seen in the screenshots of Bloodborne's kind of got a that kind of Victorian era London, England style going on for it, in the same way the Dark Souls series has that medieval fantasy knights and kings and castles kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? Or am I wrong? Like I said, I've never played Bloodborne, so what do I know? Anyway, I didn't do anything. It was all Pameli. Alright, Philip. Feeling well enough to talk now? Yes. Thank you for your kindness. We are sister offices. After all, we gotta help each other out. I'm sorry we couldn't help. We're in the middle of handling cases of distortion in the street to District 12. What's going on here? Those victimized by the 8 o'clock virus held a show of pure insanity and Hinduism. It was akin to a festival in hell. Gave us quite a bit of trouble. I had to get my body replaced too. This one's seriously not my style. Wait, seriously not my style. What does that mean? Is that a robotic body? Doesn't that shape even infringe the ethics amendment though? It's not mechanical. It's a clone of my body. I got biological body recovering insurance sometime. What? So wait, just like practically this one sentence alone, correct me if I'm getting it wrong, because I'm about to just infer a lot of like world building information off of this one sentence, but apparently there's a company who specializes in cloning your body and holding it on standby, so that if your original body gets badly damaged enough, they could move your transfer or transplant, whatever it may be, the correct term may be, your original mind, brain, or consciousness into the clone body, so your original consciousness, in whatever form necessary, is living on in the clone body, which is a clone which is presumed a clone of your own original body. So your original body just gets, what's left of your original body gets scrapped. I don't know, it gets recycled, however you can recycle a body, or just thrown in a ditch or trash or whatever, and original you, keeps living in your clone body. I'm not really surprised that they could, this world figure out a way to do that, considering, Lobotomy Corporation originally established the ability to transplant mind, so it's not surprising that they would just figure out an evolution of brain or mind or consciousness transplantation like this. Ellie's body was torn apart beyond recovery, so the only thing we had left of her. Her head was thankfully intact. I thought fiction insurances were a complete robbery, but it did help us out for once. Is it possible that this could service as a kind of immortality? I mean, as long as you get an intact head back to where the clone body is stored or whatever, and you have proper procedures and doctors for the transplant, you effectively got a functioning form of immortality there. Again, it requires an intact head, but as long as you can accomplish that much, you're good as gold. The idea of that is interesting. Speaking of, doesn't your office have any insurance? I was a relatively new member at the office, so I didn't know that much. Yeah, you'll want to see if the office had any. There are many types of insurance with various conditions. It's nice to have a body again, but why did it have to be this? Is the body you're in different than your original body? Okay, so I'm assuming in this picture on the left here, I'm assuming blonde girl on the right is Pamela with an A. The white-haired girl with the shorter hair on the left is Pamela, as seen here, spelled with an I on screen. And I'm assuming Pamela is the one that died, and from what it looks, if the person on the right image here is Pamela, again with the I, it looks like they used Pamela's body, the blonde girl's body, as the clone. They cloned the blonde girl, Pamela, in order to have a body to transplant Pamela into. And it sounds like she's not a fan of that because it's not her own original body. What? I urgently had body cloning surgery to save you, and this is... Why is I stop the dialogue to go on this tangent on of how I'm figuring things out, just inferring things as I'm going along, and then I just click to answer dialogue, and the very next thing just gives the answer away, just like that. On one hand, and yeah, the criticism of you wouldn't have to stop and ask questions if you paid attention and then just let it play out does hold true to some extent, but this is kind of the way I want to enjoy my media. I like pausing in the middle of a movie or in a game cutscene to try and guess and infer information, even if it does mean the very next sentence answers virtually everything I was saying. What's the point? Even looking at the mirror is discouraging. Don't you dare damage that body. You know what? Why don't you just die a permanent death this time. That way you can't be recovered by any means. You won't have to pay me for the cloned body then. You asking for a fight? Yeah, you punk! You certainly are masterful at making Sang Hua Cha, as Salvador said. You flatter me, sir. A penny for your thoughts, Philip. Did the library appear to be related to the distortion phenomenon in any way? A penny for your thoughts and a quarter to keep it to yourself. I'm not sure. I haven't experienced the distortion myself. But that place looked more alien than anything I've ever seen. And Master and Sabane, they got turned into books there. That doesn't help. Several associations are keeping an eye on this matter. It's not just the associations, even the wings and the fingers are clueless about what to make of the distortion. Alright. You don't seem to be too interested in the current topic. By all due means, his master, Salvador, and his friend just died at the library, which, some people, I'm not sure if it's everyone, but some people are maybe, like, linking some kind of correlation or connection between the library and a distortion, and Philip's master and friend just died there, so it's understandable that he doesn't really care. He wants to stay away from the place that killed all the people he cared about. You must want to forget all this fuss about the distortion and head right back to the library, the books of your colleagues. Either that or just stay as far away as possible to keep his own life. I wish I could do just that. My master said in his note that I shouldn't act hastily and instead depend on your aid. That old friend left me with quite the troublesome little fellow. Death is a staple in this business, but his wife and children must be heartbroken still. Have you met them? No, I couldn't visit them yet. Why is that? I'm too ashamed to face them. Our next stop will be the library. Ready your gear. Thank you, sir. Don't mistake this for kindness. We're simply taking you with us because we were already planning to go there. And this is the least I could do to bear responsibility for my old friend's death. Personally, I never let Fixer like you join my office. It would give us a bad name. Is it wrong? Is it so wrong? Is it wrong? Is it so pathetic for me to want to repay the favors of my colleagues for their sake? I just noticed he has X in his name, which means either he quit being a fixer, or or he's technically been let go or fired off because the department doesn't exist before because he's the only sole survivor of it. Or that was of a group of a part of a group or what department that was otherwise completely killed off. Everyone says not to act upon attachment. That's an unclassy and naive thing to do. Can't we as fixers, no, as people living in the city, do anything on the behalf of... I should probably read that. Can't we as fixers, no, as people living in the city, do anything on the behalf of others? Gosh, you're insufferable. You didn't even say that you're wrong or anything. He just doesn't want those kinds of fixes in our office. Simple as that. Don't be a miserable ass about it. Nothing is as unreliable as someone who's easily swayed by their feelings. You want us all to die just so you can fulfill your ideals or what? You must be sincerely believing that your actions are for others. That you are different from all the other unkind and selfish deviants of the city. Thinking that you are fighting for some higher cause. But know that those are in fact entirely selfish thoughts. It's the most dangerous kind of selfishness. You deceive yourself into thinking you're selfless. You say that, but You haven't exactly convinced me of how his actions are selfish in the first place. There can be no such thing as a selfless action for us humans. Even the act of self-sacrifice is ultimately for oneself. A very dangerous kind of selfishness, one that slowly eats away at your peers and leads them to damnation. You gave a fine speech, but I must wonder if you're truly upset for the sake of Salvador and your other late colleagues. I'll go prepare myself. That Felt guy seems to be hurt, but I agree with Oscar here. Few things are as dangerous and nasty as selfishness in the guise of for the sake of someone else. I think I know what you mean. The determination to work for the good of others can be a dreadful and loathsome weapon. Especially if one strongly believes that the justice they're pursuing is worth sacrificing for. They're blinded by self-righteousness and have no regards for their surroundings. They don't care what happens to others. They justify themselves for pressing forward, pursuing their justice, crushing everything in their way. Wow, this must be the first time we've understood each other for real. I'm touched, man. How about some champagne? I'm not one to bring, to be the kind of person about, social commentary on, like, current events, blah, 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 like, I think that's something that, like, they're not wrong if you want to play your life. There are, or in my opinion, a little few too many people who out there, or even today, that just, who demand so much of others out of a sense of pursuing justice or pursuing what's right, some sense of self-righteousness. They're imposing their own sense of morality and justice and what's right upon other people. Damn the consequences. Damning all consequences and damning and stomping on other people in the process. Other people and consequences be damned. They will impose their sense of right and wrong on everyone else. Anyway, back to Story Before King to Ride again. We're like practically like almost 18 minutes in and we haven't seen a lick of gameplay yet. Stop firing already, would you? You're so annoying. He's still recovering. We should give him some space. Wait, I thought Pamela was the blonde and Pamela was the like white-haired girl. Why is it like practically backwards here? I'm confused. Tiny things like this can still affect my psyche. Never mind, you don't need to care about me. Try not to be a hindrance. I'll stab you as soon as I determine that you're getting in our way. Greetings, dear guests. Your group seems to be in a rather ill mood. $100 says one of them's gonna comment on an Angela not being human. $100 on that. I thought you were a machine. Could it be that you're partially human? Don't stare so now. We just poked you to make sure not to kill you or anything. How rude. Hasn't anyone taught you to behave? Heard the librarian in this place is supposed to be nice. Someone advised me that there's no need to be courteous, ill-mannered guests with ill-mannered guests who slap and spin my face without reason. It's kind of fair when the other person it's kind of fair to be an ass when the other person does a good enough job of provoking it first. I apologize. We couldn't afford to be polite when our very lives are at risk. Oh, really now? This isn't like what we heard about her at all. She must have had her own woes. For some reason, I thought it was going to be in waves. Like I fought these two first or so in like a first battle, and then I fought like him and Oscar and Philip in a second battle? Oh, whatever. Expectations are different than reality. Okay, I got 5 different things, and I got 6 more. Ah, that's so cheap. 1 character being targeted by 3. 4, 5, and 5. I know his numbers are higher than my card here, but my logic for this is he'd have to get like his is 1 to 5, meaning I can easily beat him. If he gets a 3 or lower, I can easily at least equal him with a 3 and create like a little stalemate or whatever, or beat him with a 4 on my second 2 cards. And he'd have to get a perfect top 5 for both cards to beat either of mine. But if he gets a 2, a 1, or a 2... Okay, he's going after the 4, so... You're going after the 2, so... I'm beginning to... I didn't really do much between the last episode now. I'm beginning to think I should, like, switch out my cards some. I wasn't expecting him to get boost to his cards. Pierce damage plus 1, so... Oh, of course he's got the weapon, so... Okay, so he's going after that, so... 3 to 7, so... What's with this and like a bunch of characters just ganging up on one person like this? That. Okay, no one's attacking. Ouch. Okay, you're doing 4 to 8, so... And I'll go with that. I'm about to lose. That's getting old real fast. Every time there's like one character that's being attacked by like 3 at the same time. Like, if I had a chance before, I'm definitely boned now. I'm going to make a cut here. I'm going to reorganize my stuff. I'm going to do what I've been doing for the past few things, and I'm going to do all the stuff off screen, and I'm going to come back and I'll show off my new end result for when I go into the battle again. But hold on, what am I up to? Okay, that's how I'm gonna do things, and I just remembered I kind of gotta pay attention because a lot of these objectives here are. I remember they can hold you back from getting a little upgrade thing here, but it's kind of weird how most of the time they're just stuff you naturally do automatically as you progress the story. So consciously thinking about doing the objectives is just not there. You're like, it's stuff you don't actively go out of your way to seek because all the objectives are just story progression stuff that's being done automatically. And then but there's still like that one time of that, I don't remember which area it was, I think this, but like for some reason it had this weird little quirky condition of like win a fight without using any even numbered cards, aka number 2 cards, which is all I had at the time. But like weird little quirky things that you had to go out of your way to do like that are definitely going to be like the stuff that holds me back, which is why I'm paying attention to this. But anyway, I'm rambling on too long, but I'll make a cut here. Hello everybody, and I am back after rearranging my groove, which looks as follows. And if it's not already obvious, one thing I wanted to do is I made this character designed around a combination of using guns and melee attacks. I wanted to try playing around with the guns and sort of ranged attacks in this game, but I noticed out of the little outfits capable of using range, I noticed this one, the one I gave her right now, it was capable of using both. The others were like exclusively ranged, meaning they couldn't use like melee attacks. But this one is capable of using both, so I wanted to give that a try, mainly because I want to be able to equip the character with melee attacks as a sort of backup in the event of I run out of ranged attacks. But with that, let's get back to the fight once again. See if it goes better. What? I cannot say okay. Of course I'm gonna select it. Okay, what's he doing to this? Okay, 3 stuff. I know it's a bit of a stretch, but what are you doing? Okay, 2, 4 to 8. I had to set. Normally, I would have had her equipped with an extra, a second dice roll, but I wanted the margin and ability on her, or so I had to go with that instead of the second die. Just one round and this guy's almost dead. Okay, what are you doing? See? That's why I did it. The character would still have an ability to defend himself and when necessary. Come on! I'll do that. Okay, what are you doing? Okay. Both cards are the same. Okay. Wait, did he get away again, or? Yet again, I thought could fight with them until the end in this time. How long am I going to keep hiding behind others? What could I have changed if I stood between them and stood with them for all along? Well, I had the courage to stand up to something. Having the courage to stand up to your enemy is good, but it doesn't mean crap if you're not gonna. It doesn't really mean much if you're not gonna walk away alive. You know? I know standing up to someone can inspire others to stand up with you, but at the end of the day, like, what are you intending to accomplish with your death? You lived the first time to try again. He who fights and runs away lives to try another day, you know? A lot of people can call that cowardly, but if you die trying to fight, people consider that brave, but what'd you accomplish other than getting yourself killed, you know? At least if you run away, that might be considered cowardly, but you're still alive to make another attempt if you want to try again, you know? If I had that courage, when I was told to run, I hesitated. If I ran away leaving my master in Xianbei, they might think of me as a coward. Maybe they actually wanted me to stay with them. But the decision I made was to listen to them, believing it was for their sake. I convinced myself that I'd only be a hindrance if I stayed. There is nothing I could do here, so I should go outside and ask others for help. This is all for Xianbei and Master. I'm doing this for others. I was determined to sacrifice myself for others. I forfeited telling myself that this wasn't the right time. Told myself it's fine because I'm still a selfless man. Said a vile and selfish person. To be honest, I'm not understanding the logic of how, I don't understand, like, the logic here. They're portraying his attempts at being selfless by sacrificing for others, or trying to protect others, as being, and they're arguing that it's the most selfish thing that a person can do. It was explained to some extent when it was established in, like, hiding behind, it's selfish when you're when you use trying to fight for justice and moral righteousness as a ruse to impose your own personal morals on others. They explain that much, and I can understand that. We talked about it earlier when it came up by him being. I don't understand the logic of Philip here specifically being selfish by trying to be selfless. I don't understand it. And I'm not saying that as a way of like, oh, the game does not make sense. And I'm leaning more towards, I know this is me as an individual not understanding it. I'm not understanding the logic. Not that the game's using bad or flawed logic, I just personally think that either it's not doing a good enough job of explaining itself, or if it is, I'm not getting it. If it is making, like, if there are explanations, either they'll come later, or I'm being given the explanations now, and my brain for some reason, my mind's just not sparking the synapses to make 1 + 1 = 2. I involved the Wedge office telling this is for my master in Xianbei. took their sacrifice for granted and ran away again. It's not for myself, trying to justify what I wanted to do. Endlessly parrying for them, for others, for someone else, for whom the words I uttered to disguise my selfishness is something greater. What's your selfishness? Is your selfishness, it's like, is this all some, like, deep down you want to get revenge or avenge your master, Salvador and Sionbe? And your selfishness is that you're getting other people involved and getting them others killed for your revenge instead of just trying to throw yourself in there and do this yourself. Is that it? He was right. I was the most selfish and dangerous person. I don't want to embellish my motives saying it's for others. It's doing it all for me, or myself above anything else. For me, who's feeling sadder than anyone. What? I was not. What the hell? No one's going to cry on my behalf, even if I'm sad. This sadness is mine to bear after all. If I must carry this emotion, if I can't get rid of it, if I have to repeat the cycle of sinking into the swamp of despair and thinking whatever comes to me, then I'll take the path of getting back on my feet with this sadness instead. Because I believe I can do it. Because it's what I must do. I have to move forward. This power has to be an opportunity given to me. What the hell? I was not expecting a boss fight like this. Yeah, he's definitely a boss. With stats like this, he's definitely a boss. I was not expecting this. I just thought something. One-winged angel. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. Forgive that much. Is this but still, is this what they were going on before about the power of emotions and why it's important to invoke emotions in people? Okay, that card is going to attack him, so his best counter, or I said his, her. I guess it doesn't really matter. Four to 7. Perfect antithesis to it. Okay, so he's attacking. Okay, yeah, his third one is same as the first. Seriously though, I just kind of came into this prepared with that. with that first fight in mind, I was not expecting him to just come back up with a second fight here. Oh, that's just dirty. Why? Whoa, why is she at 3 dice all of a sudden? Can't even do anything. Are you kidding me? He gets away again! God, either piss off and stay away forever, or finally just die already. Obtain 2 copies of Combat Page Feather Suit. Whoa, what is up with that Philip kid? When did he get such a hype of workshop gear? No, not even the workshops can make equipment as good as that. This actually reminds me of that guy. Oh, that reminds me. Guy. Ego. That appears to be ego. Ego? You mean the ego, as in someone's consciousness? It's a silly wordplay. They're essentially the same thing. The shell of one's ego is a physical manifestation of the mind. What? The mind? Physically brought about? That sounds too vague to be a real thing that could happen. That's crazy! Like, ego is like a major point. We got ego from the abnormalities in Lobotomy Corporation, and here it is. And here we go, this guy, he's able to manifest his own ego to use for a battle. Like, that's just crazy. That sounds too vague to be a real thing that can happen. It was the singularity of L Corp, although the process was different. While L Corp extracted ego deliberately, Philip must have manifested his thanks to the influence of the White Nights and Dark Days. Yeah, I understand somewhat now. But put the brakes on your train of thought for a moment. You mean anyone can just extract powerful equipment like that from their mind free of charge? Don't rush me. This is also my first time seeing it manifested this way. If you were so curious, you shouldn't have let him get away. I didn't know who would pull that kind of device, put that kind of device on him. Old Oscar's still not honest to himself. Seem to have a number of old friends. Well, yeah, they're seasoned veterans with mounds of experience. It's hard not to run into them at least once or twice as a fixer, you know? Oh man, I was not expecting that. I was not expecting him to just go complete boss fight. I mean, this guy was like, he was practically generic Luke type character. Or basically just barely like the only thing stopping him from being borderline cannon fodder is literally any level of story relevance, you know? But then he has to go and pull something like this, just wow. Like, I'm legit surprised by that. Well, I think I'm gonna bring it to an end here. Thank you so much for watching. Lobotomy Corporation. Oh my, I call it Library of Ruina. I think it's like the second time I made this mistake. Thank you for watching. Comments are always appreciated. And next time we'll be continuing the story as usual. Oh, but anyway, until next time, I will see you guys around.